am the Irish guy, and right, lads, we all know that I do the Prem catch-up each week, looking back at the Premier League results from the weekend. So, since there's so many Champions League games these days, how about a Champions League catch-up every Champions League week on a Thursday where I go through every match? Let me know if you want it. Right, let's go. Aston Villa 1, Bayern Munich 0. This was me last night.
Tonight is the night Vincent Kompany established himself as the next world-class manager coming through.
Once again, I'm wrong.
Calling Duran mid and overrating Kompany? Poof! No one talks about how the Irish guy Jinx is stronger than Trace, so that didn't quite age well for you. How's that gone then? Had a bit of a mare here. This aged well. Please delete. John Duran is having a purple patch. Some Irish guy. Lemafau, John Duran says otherwise. Bah ha 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 ha.
Bad. Okay, I still have faith in Kompany to become a majestic, wonderful, world-class manager. But, oh wow, what a crazy night at Villa Park. Lads, Emiliano Martinez is world-class. I'm sorry, but Mikel Arteta is clearly a brilliant coach. But choosing to dump this bloke in 2020, flushing him out to Villa Park, was almost idiocy. Lads, when this guy was keeping goal for the Gunners and letting in 5 against Reading in 2012 in that insane 7-5 comeback Arsenal win, I'll be honest, I never thought that Damien Martinez, as he was known at the time, would then go on to win the World Cup, Copa America twice, FIFA World Cup Golden Glove, Copa America Golden Glove twice. He voted the world's best goalkeeper 10 years after that Reading farce, and he would also make crucial last-minute saves from Harry Kane for Aston Villa in the Champions League 12 years down the line. I mean, listen to what you would be saying. In 2012, this guy was an Arsenal misfit nugget getting flushed out to Oxford on loan, while Kane spent that season fading on loan at both Norwich and Leicester, and Villa were a gruesome relegation-battling team going nowhere. I mean, by Christmas time, they'd be losing 8-0 at Chelsea. I mean, this prediction would not compute in my brain. It would be like someone saying that in 12 years' time, trying to tell me that Arsenal's Karl Hein would be representing Everton in the Champions League and making last-minute saves from Bayern Munich's Troy Parrott. What? Lads, when Villa were rock bottom in the Premier League in 2016 with just 17 pathetic points, after embarking on a laughable springtime run of 11 defeats in a row, I thought Villa were done. They were the next Derby County, Sunderland, or Huddersfield. Teams who had disgraced themselves so badly in the top flight that we would never see them again. But no, it's 8 years later and they're beating Bayern Munich in the Champions League with a manager who everybody wrote off as an Arsenal joke, with Manuel Neuer getting lobbed by a striker who everyone laughed at Chelsea for sniffing around in a £40 million deal. Okay, I'll admit it, I was laughing too. Yeah, I'm not laughing anymore. Duran. I don't care how much the fans love Ollie Watkins. This man needs to start. So amazing, stunning Villa win. And Jack Grealish is probably very, very jealous that Morgan Rogers has taken his job. But I am not giving up on Kompany. No way, I promise you, he is still the next super coach coming through. He's like a mixture of Arteta and Alonso cooked together in one delicious pie. Just you watch, he is still going to be saucy. Arsenal 2, PSG 0. PSG make me sad. This is a club who've been having an existential crisis ever since the Qatar World Cup, with their president Nasser Khelafi sort of realizing that his whole PSG life project was fake. When the Qatari group took over PSG in 2011, they wanted world dominance, but I think they've realized now that they've invested in the wrong nation. Because I'm sorry, but whatever about the Abu Dhabi group seizing control of a rubbish, weak, mid-table Premier League side in 2008, yeah, trying to make a French team the best side in world football, it was incredibly ambitious. Some football clubs have a policy where they will sensibly refuse to sign you if you are a rotten personality. But PSG, oh, they don't care. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Adrien Rabiot, Serge Aurier, Levin Kurzava, Hatem Ben Arfa, Jesse Rodriguez, Dani Alves, Lassana Diarra, Mauro Icardi, Moaz Keane, Ashraf Hakimi, Ousmane Dembele, Hugo Ekitike. There have been attitude problems accompanying those players for years. And in some cases, I'm being very nice to only limit to that. At one point, I would imagine the PSG training ground was the most unfriendliest place in the world. We should have known from the start of the PSG project that they simply did not care about signing disrespectful oiks, considering back in 2011 they tried to make the first signing of the new regime Adel Tarabt. Someone who really does look like he spits at lunch ladies if they served him cold lasagna. I really do think that watching his side get crushed 4-1 in the Champions League by Newcastle United a year ago really did wake up the PSG president, because he would have looked at a really unspecial Magpie side with barely a superstar in sight, blowing his multi-millionaire prima donnas off the park, placed up a centre-back pairing of Jamal Lascelles and Fabian Schär. Two players who might as well have had Steve Bruce tattooed on their head. So PSG have finally realised A bit like when Buzz Lightyear understood that his wings won't work. And so now they have had an attitude cleanse. Gone are the lavish multi-million-pound megastars, but in their place is now an insufferably average side, tries above the PSG team that faced Arsenal. It looks like a Europa League team. I'm sorry, but Neymar, Mbappe, Messi was a trio that would terrify defenders to their core. But on Tuesday night, a front three of Bradley Barcola, Desiree Doué, and Lee Kang-in, that scares no one. That's about as scary as an episode of Peppa Pig. Yeah, unless Peppa's getting sliced up by a butcher and stuck in a box of Lunchables, then I ain't exactly going to be sleeping with the light on that night. But this was far too easy for Arteta to unpick his former club. They moved to a comfy 2-0 lead after a proper centre-forwards goal from Kai Havertz, banging in a header from a Trossard cross, and then a Bukayo Saka free kick goes all the way in. But honestly, PSG, what happened to you? Because right now, I'm really looking at a really ordinary team who now look further away from realising their dream of winning the Champions League than they ever did before. Love and Bratislava 0, Man City 4. Yeah. Obviously, nobody expected anything else. Pep Guardiola said that Ilkay Gundogan produced his worst ever performance against Newcastle at the weekend. So here he was, banging in his first goal of his second spell. Phil Neville then curls in a second, and Erling Haaland scores a third. And lads, Erling Haaland now has 42 Champions League goals in 41 matches. Lads, you can pinpoint the moment on Twitter when I realised who this man was. October 2nd, 2019, almost 5 years to the day.
Liverpool will lose their first Champions League home match since October 2014 tonight. Remember this.
Yeah, the replies didn't really believe in me.
You belong in a nut house.
See? I'm not sure why I thought that this peerless club winning machine would lose it under Red Bull Salzburg, but it's almost like the footballing overlords were trying to whisper a secret to me, telling me that there was something really special deep within this Austrian side, and in the end, Liverpool made hard work of it. Mo Salah had to nick a late winner to steal a 4-3 win, but all of Salzburg's goal scorers would one day wind up in the Prem. Hwang Hee-chan, Takumi Minamino, and yes, Erling Haaland. I have only known of Haaland's existence for just 5 years, and he's managed to cram in nearly 50 Champions League goals. He's overtaken Sergio Aguero's lifetime haul of Champions League goals. He's got 12 more than Samuel Eto'o, a lethal world-class striker who won the treble twice. He's only 2 goals behind Drogba, an iconic Champions League legend. He needs just 8 more to catch Thierry Henry. This is freakish. Borussia Dortmund 7, Celtic 1. Scottish football has been broken. Celtic fans have been failed because the Champions League used to be an exciting journey into the unknown for this club. A club who won this competition in the past, don't forget. This was their escape from an incredibly predictable league that they and Rangers have both been too good for. And I'm sorry, but when I was a child, Celtic were always incredibly brave and dignified in this tournament. They were never humiliated. They gave it a go and they went toe to toe with some of the best sides in Europe. I'm going to show you a complete contrast to last night, and it's going to frighten you as if you're staring at a naked Jonah Hill. Lads, I'm going to show you a Celtic side from the 2000s that is unrecognizable to this feeble joke team getting slapped about by Borussia Dortmund. Lads, in 2001, Celtic played against the great Juventus twice. They narrowly lost 3-2 in Turin before beating them 4-3 at home. They also beat Porto 2 years before they won the Champions League. In 2003, they held Bayern Munich to a 0-0 draw in Glasgow before narrowly losing 2-1 in Germany to an 85th minute winner. They also beat a star-studded Lyon team 2-0 at home. In 2004, they were placed in the group of death against AC Milan, Barcelona, and Shakhtar Donetsk. Yeah, Celtic lost 3-1 at home to Barcelona, but they nicked a 1-1 draw at the Nou Camp with a teenage Messi rotting on the bench. They also drew 0-0 at home with Milan and only lost 3-1 in Italy, thanks to AC having to score in the 89th and 90th minutes of the match. A Milan team who were probably the best team in Europe at the time. And don't forget, the previous season, Celtic had already knocked Barcelona out of the Europa League without conceding a single goal over 2 legs. Celtic also beat a world-class Manchester United side 1-0 at home in the Champions League before narrowly losing 3-2 at Old Trafford, and thump Benfica 3-0 too. Lads, they came up against AC Milan in the last 16 in 2007. The team who would be crowned European champions in May. And guess what? They carved out 2 0-0 draws, only losing 1-0 in extra time of a grueling match at the San Siro, only conceding the winning goals that year's Ballon d'Or winner Kaka. They played Milan again the following season. They lost 1-0 in Italy and beat them 2-1 in Scotland. So let me get this straight. In 5 consecutive matches against Carlo Ancelotti's Milan, in an era where that side competed in 3 Champions League finals, Celtic only let them score 4 goals? Wow. They also played against Pep Guardiola's perfect Barcelona side in the last 16 in 2008. Celtic lose 3-0 at home and only 1-0 in Spain. The following season was a 1-1 draw against European champions Manchester United. And in 2012, Celtic beat Pep's Barcelona 2-1 at home. This was an era where Celtic could compete with dignity in Europe. But look at them now. Over the last 10 years, when they've tried to face off against European heavyweights, they've lost 6-1 to Barcelona, 7-0 to Barcelona, 5-0 against PSG, 7-1 against PSG, 5-1 against Real Madrid, 6-0 against Atletico Madrid, and now 7-1 against Borussia Dortmund. This is the third separate occasion where Celtic have conceded 7 goals on a Champions League night. That is pitiful. It's embarrassing. Celtic are now a European joke. How many more horrible nights are their fans going to have to sit through watching their team get chewed apart? It's not as if this was even a managerial golfing class. No, you had Brendan Rodgers coming up against someone who he signed for Liverpool and then let rot on the bench for a year. Yeah, this was Nuri Sahin's ultimate revenge because he was bought by Liverpool on loan from Real Madrid in 2012, and Rodgers barely let him squeak onto the pitch. This was far too easy. The defending was hideous, actually revolting, and to see how far Celtic have fallen in the Champions League, it is pathetic. Their fans deserve more. Barcelona 5, Young Boys 0. Oh, lads, Young Boys just got ruined. No, not at my uncle's house, but at the new camp. In what seemed like a really pointless match. Lads, if there's one thing Barcelona are able to guarantee their fans each year, it is that they will chow down on a minnow on toast early doors. What seems to be Barcelona's specialty is scoring a perfect 5 goals at home in a Champions League match. It happens virtually every season. Not 4, not 6, not 7. 5. Rise them up since 1999 at the new camp. In the Champions League, they have beaten AIK 5-0, Sparta Prague 5-0, Chelsea 5-1, Besiktas 5-0, Panathinaikos 5-0, Levski Sofia 5-0, Lyon 5-2, Panathinaikos 5-1, Shakhtar Donetsk 5-1, Lyon 5-1, Ferencváros 5-1, Victoria Pilsen 5-1, Antwerp 5-0, and now Young Boys 5-0. So this feels very, very deja vu. Bayer Leverkusen 1, AC Milan 0. And Bayer Leverkusen go marching on. Honestly, the side that Xabi Alonso has managed to build at Leverkusen to now be utterly dominating AC Milan for an entire night. Okay, to be fair, it is not the Milan of old. Whereas before they had a Ballon d'Or winner like Antar Shevchenko up front, now it's Tammy Abraham, some Swansea City flop. Although, he did say while at Swansea that he wanted to win the Ballon d'Or. I don't think that's happening, Tammy. Benfica 4, Atletico Madrid 0. What just happened here? I'm in shock. Lads, before last night, Atletico Madrid had not lost a game of football since May. They just played out a hard-fought, grueling draw in the Madrid derby. And yet here, they travelled to Portugal to get slapped by 4? Lads, Diego Simeone is one of the world's most revered and respected coaches. Yeah, he just got absolutely tactically swept away by Bruno Lage. Yeah, remember him? I'm still confused why Wolves ever dumped him in the first place. I think that decision has aged about as well as whoever greenlit the awful Rings of Power, because 2 years later, and he is managerially slapping a world great while Wolves have a friendly little postman at the wheel. But no, goals from Mo Akertukalo, Angel Di Maria, Alexander Ba, and Orkan Korkcu gave Benfica the win. And lads, oh, how Di Maria will have enjoyed that one. 10 years on from being man of the match in a Champions League final win over Atletico in his final ever Real Madrid game. Here he is at nearly 37 and still tormenting Simeone. Lille 1, Real Madrid 0. Kylian Mbappe must hate Lille. Not only did this club serve him the greatest embarrassment of his career when they pipped PSG's megastars to somehow win the 2021 French League title. Honestly, when they pulled off that insane title win, Mbappe must have felt like an embarrassed little mouse. And now, they've just beaten his Real Madrid in the Champions League. Huh? Mbappe's little bro plays for Lille. So this is like KSI getting beaten up by Deji. You don't live down this sort of shame. Oh wow, what a defensive performance from Lille. Incredible win. And I'm telling you, it's nights like this which will probably be causing a certain teenage Lenny Yoro to be jealously staring at the TV and pouting like a dump prom queen. That's what's most to say to me about this result is that Remy Cabella started the game as Lille's number 10. I'm sorry, but who would have thought 10 years ago when he was a ridiculously disappointing wet muffin of a Newcastle signing? Someone who had the end product of a squashed spider. Someone who could not hold a candle to Hatem Ben Arfa. Who would have predicted that 10 years down the line, this 4-time France international would be starting in a Champions League win over Real Madrid? Weird. Liverpool 2, Bologna 0. Easy Liverpool win. Let's be real. Bologna don't belong in the Champions League. Come on, they finished 5th in Serie A last season. But lads, Arne Slot is absolutely cooking right now. And the Reds, yes, a comfy 2-0 win. Goals from Alexis McAllister and Mo Salah. Pure quality. And the emergence of Ryan Gravenberch as the new number 6. One of the discoveries of the season. Red Bull Salzburg 0, Brest 4. Yeah, remember when Liverpool fans were hyping up Klopp's assistant Pep Linders as a potential managerial replacement for him at Anfield? Yeah, some fans were actually gassing up a Premier League title race between Pep and Pep. But it's nights like this when we see Linders get absolutely exposed and destroyed on Champions League nights. Losing 4-0 at home to little old Brest. Getting tactically massacred by Eric Roy. Some fella who had to wait 12 years to get his second management job after being dumped by Nice in 2011. I mean, lads, to put it in context, it's like if Aston Villa had replaced Steven Gerrard with Alan Shearer, because Roy was a television pundit too. But this reminds me when everyone thought that Klopp's old number 2, Zelko Buvac, was the real brains behind the success, and that he would be an exceptional Arsenal boss. Funnily enough, it was only once the Severus Snape lookalike quit Liverpool that they actually started doing everything in sight. Sorry, Linders, but you're the next Buvac. RB Leipzig 2, Juventus 3. RB Leipzig just blew it. I'm sorry, lads, but for the Germans to be 2-1 up over Juventus after 2 Benjamin Sesko goals, and with the Italians just having had Mikel de Gregorio sent off on 59 minutes, how did Leipzig not see out the win? But no, they melted, letting Dusan Vlahovic belt in a second goal of the night before Francisco Conceição produced a moment of magic, weaving between 2 defenders in the box to slide home the winner. Incredible win for Thiago Motta's boys, but oh wow. What a horrendous Champions League night for the Red Bull Company. Inter Milan 4, Red Star Belgrade 0. Yeah, nothing to see here. Just Simone Inzaghi's Inter Milan cruising on a sumptuous 4-0 win, with newbie Mehdi Taremi scoring his first goal, and Marko Arnautovic was even scoring for Inter Milan in the Champions League too. Whoever saw that coming? When he was a completely anonymous loan signing for them during the season where they won the Champions League in 2010, did anyone think this guy, someone who Mourinho said had the attitude of a child, would be scoring Champions League goals for this great club 15 years down the line? When the other maverick Inter Milan wonderkid striker at the time, Balotelli, is about to sign for a team in Spain's 3rd tier, Dinamo Zagreb 2, Monaco 2. You know what? Fair play, Dinamo. I know they just threw away a 2-0 lead over Monaco at home, but I'm sorry, this is going to be considered a ridiculous 9 goals on the last Champions League outing. I would have expected this club to have developed long-term scars from that traumatic night in Germany. Honestly, lads, I haven't seen Dinamo look that shaken since he lost the rights to his name. But to be fair, to come out and claw back some pride with a spirited 2-2 draw, well done, Zagreb. PSV 1, Sporting Lisbon 1. Yeah, I think both sides will be fairly happy with this. Stuttgart 1, Sparta Prague 1. Missed opportunity for Stuttgart. Come on, you've been handed opportunity to seize your first Champions League win since beating Rangers back in 2007. And you blew it. Shakhtar 0, Atalanta 3. Ademola Lookman is pure class. Sturm Graz 0, Club Brugge 1. I didn't see the match. Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Let me know. Will I do this in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Do you like the Champions League roundups? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.